Okay, today we're going to cover for this topic, topic six, system design job order costing, and we can see how either we manage to complete topic sevens, so that during the face-to-face we can do some revisions. So if we complete early, then it's good. But okay, so if you refer to these topics, the learning outcome actually, we want you to be able to explain the differences between job costing, batch costing, and service costing, because so that you can understand what type of product that your company is producing. So, and then you should be able to describe the features of the job, batch and service costing, and then you should be able to prepare a cost record and account for the job and batch costing. Even you at least you understand how those record being done. Because your nature of the businesses actually involve those activities. And then you should identify the source of the document used in the job order costing system. And then you should be able to establish the job and batch cost from the given information. And then I managed to, you can identify the suitable cost units that may be used in different service situation. And also you should be able to calculate the service cost you need to be used in the simple service costing situation. Because I'm not expected you to become, suddenly you complete this course, then you'll be able to become an accountant scan. At least you know the basic of what the accountings did. That is just enough. The knowledge actually is as the manager, that's why you should be master in business. So in the component of marketing, in the component of the production, in the components of finance, you should be able to understand, because that is the scope of business administrative. So you should be master of that. That's why you end up later on you become master of business administrations. Okay, so this is the job order costing. Actually, we need to understand what is actually is the job costing. So by look into the natures of your job that we understand, your job function actually is to your nature of your business actually is based on those in orders. Normally you work is in order. So if you look into the specials orders, like what I can see here, like okay, like costs are, like just order costing, which means the costs are recorded for each individual job, which is a cost per unit. So, in order you to understand the individual job and so forth, you need to calculate cost per unit. It's a very important to know the cost per unit. So there is a way of calculation. There is a way of method that how to know about the cost of per unit, because as you what already learned this weekend, actually there is a way of calculating using the absorption rate, using the activity-based costing in order to get the cost per unit. It's very important. There is a method of doing that, because if you know the cost per unit, you have a better plan. Either how much should you produce? So this is very important in making decision about the cost. And then you should to be able to, as in the job order costing also, they're determining the profit and loss of this completed job. And based on the customer special requirement, and usually order are for the short durations. So if you look into these specials, let's see the example. Okay, this is the example of the job costing. So if you notice here, actually is this is the this is the for example, like a special order for printing. A special order for printing. So let's say the customer actually want to custom. Uh, Let me special order. What kind of example? Special order, special order made for printing press. Okay, we imagine in the situation whereby a customer actually they want to 500, let's say 500 custom wedding invitations, wedding invitation. You want to get married, and then the customer want to printing five custom. They want to put their face on the invitation so forth, with a special design, paper type, and maybe they can put the gold foil stamping. Why not? Another customer, let's say they want about 10,000 company brochure. So this is the special orders. So different company, different customer, they come up with the different order. So why job costing is important? And because each order is unique. The cost depend on the design time, type of paper, maybe number of color, and the quantity as well. So the printer need to track all the specific costs for the job. And for the job in separate from different job, which means maybe we can put job number one and job number two. So they come up with a different way. And then we look into another example is repair workshop. uh. So fixing a specific car, for instance, or repairing a laptop maybe, or mending a piece of machinery. So this is the repair work. So the repair workshop. So this is based on normally done by the job costing. So every repair is different. So one job might need a new one job might need a new part, and maybe, and we can say about they need 2 hours for the label to fix the repairing. So while another might need only 30 minutes. So the difference of the level requirement become different because a different job. So they can track based on the part, they can track based on the repair order. So that is the example of the repair workshop. And then another example is about plumbing works. So by fixing a leaking, maybe the leaking faucet is a one house. So maybe installing a new water heater in another, or repairing an entire building. So the job is a difference, because the material, pipe, the features, and the level time are completely different for each task. So the plumber maybe they need to know the cost for each job to send the correct bill to each customer. And then another example may be furnitures of customer spatial requirements. So the customer order a custom size the dining table, for instance. Another might interested maybe to order a sofa in a specific repair. So the job is done on special, requirement. So that is what we call the job costing. The customer, all the requirement done by the customer. So the same goes to the automobile repair, because there is a very similar to the general repair workshop. One car need to maybe need a new tire, another need a full engine overhaul. So the different requirement. Last, and then maybe also the general engineering work, because the designing a custom machine part, building a prototype or customer on the specific construction project. Okay, so this is features of the job order costing. So if you want to understand the job order costing, so actually it's based on the customer own specifications, production for the customer order, not for the The maintaining stock, or maybe for product manufacturer are distinguishable. Every job can be identified clearly. Cost is for the job are not related to the unit of the production. Because if you order in the mass production, you will know, because more you produce, then the cost per unit become lowers, then there is a difference between the job order, because job order is based on the customer requirement. Because sometimes only one unique product that need to be produced, and the calculation might be simple. The cost per unit of the product, actually all costs that related to the project actually can be absorbed to the one particular project, one particular job. And then every job is charged with their own costs. Work in progress, work in progress in the number of a complete job. Valuation of the work in progress could be very difficult, because they need to monitor in separate their own accounts, and maybe the separate job number are allocated to the each job. If you have more job, then it could be complicated as well. A separate cost record should be maintained for each job from the time production begin till it complete, until the complete. The job is usually carried out in the factory premises. So that is the features. Okay, then let me see, in terms of costing, the specific order costing. So job costing actually is used when the company produce a product according to the customer specifications. And then batch costing, actually a form of a job costing, whereby a batch of the production in the job. So, and then the contract costing, it is similar to the job cost, except that this cost unit are large and work in the is of a longer durations. And then when we look into the method of the continuation of the operation costing, so the process costing actually, when you compare to this job costing, batch costing, and process costing and service costing, actually they carry a different way of use in the industry. Because normally in the process costing, it is used in the industry that produce a large number of identical unique or homogeneous product, and manufacturing in the carry or different stages of processes, where the service costing, also known as the separate costing, the cost center need to be defined. So then you can see the differences. So the differences between the specific order costing actually is mean for the job costing. Now we look into the different part of this job, after all, because the job costing actually, it can be done on the batch, or it can be done in the contract, or the process of the job costing, it could be in the process costing or in the service costing, depending on the product. Either you need process that product, or either you need to give a services. So end up you need to understand this costing method. Okay, then we look into this step involved in the job order costing. The first thing that you need to know, in order to understand that step involved in the job costing. The first one, it works when there is a potential customer make a request. So that is where we know that every customer, they request in different requirement. That's why we need to entertain all these customer, but it depends on your business operation. Either you accept uh, individual customer requests, or use put on the specific requirement that you only entertain or certain requirement only. So people know, the more that you are specific your requirement, the lesser number of customer will the lesser number of customer that you segment, that you under the customer segmentation, is depend on your you want to opens to anything. Let's say okay, my manufacturing can produce anything that customer want, which means all the people in the world actually can be your customer. So the population for your customer is very big, yeah. But no manufacturing can manage to entertain all the customer need. That's why certain customers, certain service provider or manufacturing, they all can only accept certain customer requirement only. Yeah, that's why if you produce product based on a petrochemical requirement, that is the product available within your organization. So the customer, those actually is your target customer that use your product. So that is your customer scope. But sometimes the customer want to do a special request. When they do, when the customer want to do a special request, so it means that the order, it could be unique. The order could be customs. So that's why the job order costing it come in place. So another step also, you need to identify the specific details and the agree upon. So even though they ask you the details or the based on the requirement, actually the mutual agreement should come from both. Because either otherwise you will invite another conflict, which is after all both cannot be satisfied, and that come across with the legal impact, in order for you to solve your problem. That's why if the customer order and the service provider agree, they can come up with the mutual agreement and they can make the agreement. So the purchase order actually is one of the agreement that can be officially valid for legals purchase order. So be careful if you issue the purchase order to the customer. If you cannot deliver, so customer we can take against you, or if the customer will not buy your product, you can take legal actions against the customer. So because the purchase order requirement actually is based on the agreement from both of you, either that you can come out with the purchase order, service order, or a specific agreement in order to buy or purchase your product. Okay, the production planning department decided on the series of operations because some requirement involve those departments. So your planning need to decide which operation that can involve, that can be available in order to meet the customer requirement. And then you need to also estimate the job cost in the calculated. You cannot simply accept any order from the customer. That is a very important, because you need to have an estimated job cost. That's why you need to know your cost per unit for the specific product, which is in order to do that product, you need to know actually how much the cost. Maybe you need to hire additional manpower. So if you want to hire the additional manpower with the limited time, then the cost become higher. That's why you say, okay, the normal pricing actually is about 1,000, but because there is a custom, so we only can accept custom order, but at the cost of 2,000, double, because you already did the calculation whereby you cannot gain any profit if you sell at the same price that you are normally sales to others, because there is the custom need to be done. So all job, so the job start when the customer agree on the quoted selling price. So if the customer will not agree, so you might either quite risky for you to process with that with the requirement from the customer. That's why sometimes the company will ask for the deposit from the customer. In case the customer cancel, then it's good for them to look into this. And then all relevant costs are included in the job cost card or job cost sheet. So normally, when we in the manufacturing, normally what company have at this moment, they come out with a job cost card or job cost sheet. So they listed all this cost in the card. But in our digital, so we can do the job cost card either through the system or maybe through the Excel. So it could be on the digital, no need to print out, because this is we are in the age of the digitals. So that is we have an option. Either we want to using the digital, using the system, or either you are comfortable with the physical sheet. So it could be that. It's up to your manufacturing to go to what extent. And then job order sheet. So this is the job order sheet. As what I said, it can be physical and it can be online. It can be digital. So it also known as a job cost card, used to track the record of manufacturing cost to compute the allocated cost of product. So if you want to do the job cost sheet, you can do on your papers, physical paper, or you can use the Excel. That's why they call in the Excel they have a sheet into the looking into the tracking, or maybe you have a system for job costing. Which means everything information with the job costing, you have a system. They can come out with the numbers. So you can track best all these numbers. So it can be done. But this is a way of normally the old version or old that normally people do previously. They have a shape, they have a card, they have a card. So actually then they use the card to track the record manufacturing cost and computed the allocation job per product. Same goes off to in the store. Normally they use a bin card. They put a bin card inside the storeroom, and then each item on the storeroom, let's say in the material, in the let's say the put iron, so they can put the sheet card. They can put the bin. They call bin card. But now maybe we have the QR code. We can stick the QR code in each of the product. Then we can monitor the product. So that is the digital and this is the manual. So if we understand the digital, then we do not know how manual is work. But if we know the manual, and we can imagine how the digital can be applied. So it doesn't matter. Same here. The knowledge is same, but the applying is differences. So the job cost is the computed by adding all the costs pertaining the completion of the job. So regardless of all the material, labor costs, and overhead costs will be stated in the job cost sheet. So that you know that this is the cost that you make on the custom product. So at the production stage, all the total or sum of the direct costs and absorbed overhead costs make up the production or factory costs. And then at the stage of the delivery stages, non-production overhead are charged to the job because the delivery and the sales actually is done for the particular job order. So the sum of production costs and non-production costs make up the total cost as well. So different selling price and total cost is the profit, neither loss. So either you can get loss because of this. So we know that in order for you to getting profit, you need to add all the costs that related with the job order. So this is where some costs are in your calculation. Normally, we can absorb into different items, but to the job cost actually is anything related to this job that you can directly absorb. You don't need to, if you know that this is specifically used for this particular product, then you charge all the overhead, all the labor, and as well as all the material. Okay, so this is the example of the job cost sheet. So the job cost sheet, they have a job cost number, they have a department, which department can monitor this, and they have a lot of information here. They can put out the direct material, direct labor, how much, and the manufacturing overhead. And then in the cost summary, so they put all this total of the direct material, direct labor, and then the unit shipped to the customer as well will be recorded in the JOS code sheet. So this just example, this is example of the job code sheet can be in the physical, or the design actually can be transferable into the Excel or in the Microsoft Word that we can have to key in the PC. Or this design of this picture can be inside to the computer or maybe to the telephone by telephone apps, by the apps. So it can be done in any way. So this is one of the example of the just cut sheet, and the design is depend on the management, because this information actually on the managerial accounting we know based on management requirement. So if you say this, and then you can refer back. Okay, can I see the job cost sheet? Even your company not even call is just cost sheet, but they're using a different name. And if you see that there is a way of looking into the shape and maybe the key into the system, then this is the same. So different company have a different method of how they will monitor the just cost shape. It's not the same. They're not the same. Okay, then let's look into the determination of the cost unit and the determination of unit cost and pricing. If you look into the type of cost, the direct material cost, so the raw material the raw materials needed for the production process, like material requisition form. Have you seen any material requisition form in your organization at this moment? Have you seen? Have you know that you managed, or in your company, but your department definitely you did not request any material, is it? But if you want to do something, have you come up with any requisition form?
Material, request for
Yes,
material.
yes. Uh, this is
Yes,
the example of the material requisition form.
we have a system.
Yes, yeah, we have this
Uh, in the
material.
system or physical?
We
No,
have two,
no.
but now I think in working system now.
Now
Oh,
in
now
the
in the
system.
system.
Yes, yes.
So anything you want to request, because sometimes your department need to have maybe your aircon having problem and you need to install, or maybe you want to apply for table, chair, so you request. So this is the request form. So this is example of the direct material cost. Normally they have a material requisition form to be filled in order to know actually to request the raw material needed for the production process. Actually, who actually is requesting? So it depend on the productions, the planning. So the planning actually just normally in the production is depend on the nature of your production, your business model. Sometimes your as what I said, your business maybe is just in time. One got order, you process. But sometimes you without order you stay process because you don't want to waste your capacity, you don't want to waste your material, you don't want to waste your manpower. So any in the manufacturing you just process even you don't have any customer. So it depends on your business model. So if you in the business whereby you just produce based on your capacity, and then maybe the planning department they say okay, based on the order tracking for the last year, so this year we inject another 2% increase in the planning. So what we are going to do, instead of we are producing thousand thousand gallons, so this year we want to increase the material the chemical to 1.2 or 1,200 gallons. So the production will look into the plan, and then the production say, okay, in order to fill the capacity, this is what you need to do. This is the order that we need to come. Then then any material needed, they will request to the procurement departments. It depends also. Sometimes you say, hey, why our company did not request to the procurement? We request to where? The store, keep the store department, from the store department. And then the store department order from the procurement. So you cannot say that is wrong or that is right. Actually, it depends on management, how you manage your organizations. What is the best flow that you need to follow in order to manage your process? So that's why you need to learn about the link management, because the link management, they identify which process that need to be eliminated. It's a waste time. So that's why in Japanese, they are quite familiar with this just in time, and then they are quite familiar with the link tools to make sure that the mistake is not proven, like Pokayo method. There's a lot of methods in order for them to improve the process. This is something that you need to learn if you in the production departments. How to minimize, how to work in the full capacity based on your business models. In the training department, you also should look into this. What kind of training that you need to provide it to your employee, either in what department. For instance, if you want to do a training in the manufacturing, in the operation department, then you need to find a way of, okay, this is the training is the best for you. You need to learn about the Lean Six Sigma, because the Lean Six Sigma, they have a lot of tools and you can apply in your real situation, whereby, for instance, like if you look into certain tools in the Lean Six Sigma, the most, I think, a few tools that is a very commonly used, like Pareto, like control chart. So it's a very valuable tool that the production need to learn. Because like say in the control chart, you can, in the production, we can identify which level, which staff actually is a work more efficient than others based on the database using the control chart. And then we also can identify which actually equipment can work faster within the control chart. We know that which function can faster, which faster and low. And then if you want to find out the problems, then you need to learn about maybe to solve problems using the Pareto diagram is the 20-18 rule, which is you need to solve problem in 20% in order to fix all these 80s problems. You don't need to focus on the small problem, but you need to only focus on the 20s problem that very crucial in order to solve all the problem within the organization. So you need to find a good training program from each department. So this is one of the your job function in the trainings department. So if you look into this determination of unit cost pricing also in the direct labor cost, actually you need to look into the time record. Maybe they have a time ticket to complete. Direct expenses are incurred to be directly charged to the specific job. Their work in progress, maintaining cost, depreciation, insurance. So all those need to be recorded. And then as well as the production overhead, usually charged, usually added to each of the job while it is in process, even not directly charged to the project, to the product. So this three topic of the cost, for instance, estimation overhead, which is used only in the predetermined overhead absorption rate calculation. So we already learned about the how to calculate those predetermined overhead absorption rate calculations. And then actual overhead costs. So the actual overhead costs incur periodically throughout the year, and then absorption overhead costs actually added to the job in the work in the progress account. So for tonight, I think end up we try to do some quizzes, which is I think just for the activity, yeah. So you don't worry either you get the lower mark or higher mark, just to test your knowledge about certain topic, so that we know actually either you understand or you not understand. So yeah, it's a one of the activity, yeah, because you don't have a mark in terms of that we need to carry on to your final exam to this course. Okay, so that is the job costing, and then now there is a words there is a something related with the job costing, which is sometimes batch costing also become a job costing. But we should know also what is the batch costing. Batch. The batch costing. So let's look what is the batch costing, because this is the part of the job costing. Job costing can be done in the one item, but sometimes the customer wanted order in the big quantities. Not even their specific order, like say they only want to customize one product, and then it's just almost like prototype. The cost is very expensive. And sometimes in the printing, for instance, like you want to print the business card, and you just want a box only, a printed card. You don't want too many. But in order for you to order one board, actually the cost is almost the same that if you order for 100, because the design of the plate actually is for 100 for the batches. So that's why in the business, prototype is very expensive than you you come out with in box or in a mass production. So because the machines, the material actually is can be done at one time. Okay, so looks into the best costing. What is the best costing? Actually, is a form of job costing. So it's a form of job costing whereby identical units are manufactured in batches. So we make instead of one, so but now we make in terms of 1,000. So by one batch. So if you have many productions, you cannot sometimes in the full capacity you cannot produce like okay, I can produce 100. You cannot do that because your machine capacity is sometimes is limited. For instance, like you are producing a car, normally you can produce one car, but to move the cost of moving, like machining, before you starting, because we learn the activity again, activity-based costing. Yeah, there's a cost of when you want to start your business, start your machine operation, you need more cost. So same goes here. Sometimes if you want to produce car, to produce one car in one unit is very expensive because you need run in simultaneously, but you can done in a batches, which is one time you can produce about maybe 10 car we using the same electricity and capacity with manpower that you already have. So sometimes the job batch can become a minimum to your organizations. That's why, like printing, I just say you want to buy one box, so you can put as a minimum order in one batch. You can say that if you want to get the best price, you can order like 100 pieces or two boxes. So because it can be processed in one batch, so the price is almost the same that you are producing one box. So a form of a job costing whereby the identical unit are manufactured in batches. Each batch of similar unit and distinct in separate identification. So the product is the same, but the process actually it can be done in same process, but in a different separate identifiable in separate locations. So the batch is considered as the job and treated as the cost per unit. So now we already learned about the cost per unit. And if you want to, last time we said that if you want to know about producing, let's say, a pen. There I have a pen. So you can see the pen. Which one? The camera. Okay, this is a pen. Okay, now this pen actually is to produce this pen. You need you cannot produce only one pen. because this pen it can work simultaneously. Yeah? So sometimes you in the unit that you sell, you don't want to sell one pen. Your company, because you're a big company, you only can sell in the one box of pen, maybe 50 to 100. So 50 to 100 unit become the cost per unit for you based on batch. So if you want to calculate in batches, or you might be a pen, I think people can buy individual can. This thing, this clip, like this clip, can you see this clip? Which is this clip, the clip, huh? You see the clip? Okay, this clip, people don't the cost of per unit, you cannot find like, oh, the cost of this clip per unit is 0.0003, yeah? So because customer don't buy once, even they buy, but your production, if you want to buy from the manufacturing from the shop, maybe the cost per unit you need to identify is in the one box like this. This is might be cost per unit for you. But you say you don't produce like one small box. You produce based on at least 100. If the customer want, they need to buy at least 100 box. And then 100 box because we process in the batches. So this 100 box actually is the cost per unit for your manufacturing. So, but we calculate actually based on the small unit numbers, because just for calculation. But in the real situation, it's depending, the cost per unit actually is depending on your production, based on batch costing or based on your machine capacity in producing a one unique single item. So it's based on the unit that customer buy from your manufacturing. Normally, how you did not entertain one person, they come out in your big manufacturing, and then they say, I want to buy one pen. Can you produce? So normally you will not entertain, because normally if they want to customize, then only buy from the trader, not from the manufacturing, from the trading company, from the shop. So normally from the shop, you have the producing the batch. So this is what batch mean in the production, just to identify your job order as well as the cost per unit. So the cost per unit in a batch is computed by the dividing the batch cost by the number of good completed unit. So you must remember this. In the manufacturing, you don't count the cost per unit actually for a single product, but you count as a unit when you sell to the customer based on quantity. What it mean by one unit from you? Let's say, okay, at least company need to buy a bundle, so that is a one unit from a manufacturing. But there's nothing wrong if you want to calculate, because you say, oh, I can calculate, but it's very difficult to calculate. But if your company managed to calculate because your system is very good to tracking all this, you're using, ERP, you're tracking the number, even very small numbers, then you can calculate. Then it's good for you to know that you're produced in very small numbers of per unit. So it depends on management. That's why we learn about managerial accounting. We not learn for the financial accounting based on the statutory requirement. We need to prepare financial statement based on statutory requirement. Now we prepare the statement based on manager, based on you as a manager. Okay, so example of the batch costing. So the example of the batch costing could be productions of engineering part or components, and manufacturers of footwear, manufacturers of toys, manufacturers of clothing, manufacturer of food items or drug. So all this is the example of batch costing, because we don't produce food in one pieces. Normally in the manufacturing, they produce food and they sell in one box. And then normally they're not only small box, they are open in the one box. But if they manage to calculate in one single item, that is good. There's nothing wrong. It depends on management. But the minimum requirement to make sure that the selling price is a reasonable, is a good pricing, is a strategic of pricing, put pricing actually is look into how much your customer, which means your distributor, which means your trader, buy from your company, how much the minimum amounts they buy. That is one unit for you. But if you can do more than you can split to the more small unit, it's up to you. But it's the minimum that you should calculate, because at least your selling price is based on the cost per unit. Then you know that okay, if you the trader want to buy the clothing of the company, okay, we sell this clothes 100 pieces, and then this is amounts, because you know amount per unit of the company, we've absorbed all the cost from your labor, all the cost from the material, as well as all the cost from the overhead, from the manufacturing, from the water bill, that you calculate specific all the costs to be calculated, to be absorbed in the production. Then you know your pricing is correct or not. So this is very important to know your pricing. If you're the boss, you are CEO coming soon, inshallah, then the first question that you need to ask your finance is how much this product per unit that we sell to the customer. So now customer buy, let's say per unit is 10,000. How much actually our cost? How do you calculate those costs based on material labor? So what happened to the overhead costs that we already learned through or I'm using the absorption. Okay, at least they have a method. Why not you go for the activity-based costing, the base of the thing? At least you can get more accurate. Okay, and so this is one of the informations that you can ask when you become a CEO, because you manage to all the departments. If you work in the training department, so you also, if your training department is the profit center, uh, I'm not sure either your training department is a profit center or not. Maybe not. You're not making any income. If you're making any income within the departments, then you are become the profit center. If you are profit center, then you need to know your cost of doing training. So you need to know how much the cost of the events that we are conducted, preparing food, preparing training, asking about the trainer, and then how much can we get, how much they can we pay. Either, okay, this is our cost, but we are doing, our amount is cannot compensate with the cost, but we can reduce our cost because this is our responsibility. We are not profit making. So your department is not profit making. Your department is more on spending money. Make sure your budget is allocated with a certain amount to support the businesses. So you are support system, not the profit making. Because some of the company in the training department is the profit making. So it's depend on your objective or of your companies. It's depend on your um, missions in the company to achieve your vision. So this is your objective within the organization. That's why you need to know your what is your department visions. Sometimes the vision and mission only for the company, but there's a lot of the school of thought. The vision and mission also should have in departments. So there's nothing wrong and right or wrong, because you might say people, oh, vision, mission cannot in the department. You should only have in the company. But some company is applying for that. So it depends on the management. Who is the boss? So ask your boss lah. If the because sometimes I do write our department when I in the industry. I do write a vision and mission with the with organization, but should apply the vision and mission in the organization. Actually, is the link to vision and mission for the company. But sometimes with the different school of thought, maybe the boss don't like it, and they say you should not have that vision mission in the company. So it's depend on the management. It's depend on the management. There's nothing wrong and right. Okay, but as long as you can achieve the company missions and visions, then it should be good. What is your missions for the company? Mr. Juma, what is your visions of the companies? They want to be best in the world. They're targeting the best in the world, in the region, in the Middle East, in the
Yes, supervisor, head of division and training, planning, and follow-up training.
so they're targeting Middle East, or they're targeting the world, or they're targeting the country only. Maybe you want to be top five, maybe. What is the range?
I didn't know.
Huh?
No, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So it depends on the company. Yeah. Sometimes the company, in order to set the visions, actually, there's the two main objective. First, either your company want to be the best in the region. It could be in the world. It could be in the in the Asia. It could be in the country. Yeah. It could be in the region. It's
But
based
we
on the
work in
region.
the private company, different about this,
Uh,
different
and then
number.
okay. And then in order to become, let's say, to become best in the world, you need to benchmark actually who actually is the best. Is the best actually, let's say you said that in the best in the region in Middle East, for instance, who actually the best? And then the best for Middle East, the profit is, or the sales is become 20 billions. So you should target 20 billions. You cannot target less than that. That is your vision. Vision something that you can achieve within 5 years or 3 years. So in order to achieve your vision, you should have mission. Mission, something that you want to achieve your visions. And then in order to achieve your vision, you need to have objective of your each of the department, directing to the mission and to make sure you achieve your vision. Vision is something that you can achievable, but within the longer period. Action mission is actually the way forward. Maybe you can say that you can become number one in 5 years. So your mission, step by step, every year you can increase for 1 year. Second year you can increase for another year until your 5 years that you can become the top of number one. So that is how it works. And then all these objectives should include in your KPI. Let's later on we can learn that, because on your topic, I think on the balance scorecard later on. So this is the example of the batch costing. Okay, now the basic comparisons between job costing and batch costing. So job costing refer to the specific costing method used when the production work is carried out according to the requirement of the customer, whereby the batch costing actually is a form of job costing that is applied when the articles are produced in batches, and a group of there is a group of like unit are produced, something like that. So production as per customer specification, and then batch costing is like a mass productions based on your capacity. So that's why mass production actually is very profitable, because they can reduce the cost of number per unit. But the problem is either you can sell or you cannot sell. And then the product actually product has been independent identity, as the each job is distinct from the other job, very unique. And the mass productions product are not lose their individual identity, as they are manufactured in continuums. So which means you can produce the 10 item in the batch with the same product. And then cost unit is executed job, and the cost unit per batch. So that's why we study now how to calculate cost per unit. But if you production in the batch costing, you should use your cost per unit for batch. But you say, like I explained just now, okay, you're supposed to calculate cost per unit based on the batch. But if you want to calculate in per unit, it's up to you. Because once you got the unit, you can time by unit you produce, you still got the same figure, is it? But the complication is very difficult to calculate those. because you need to split by the production and you need to divide all this in the production and so forth. And then the cost of attainment actually on the completion of his job ascertained by the full batch and then per unit is determined by batch. Okay, so this is now we go to the service costing. Customer is a cost center. And here why? Why customer is a cost center? Okay, before we go this one, you want to take rest 5 minutes? Or you want to continue?
Today, this 24 slides, or we have others?
We have others. That we
Others.
can see. Either we can finish, we can add on. After we finish, I just want to do an exercise. Either from the previous subject or current subject. I can see her.
Now, if we have others, then we need to stop now for 5 minutes.
Huh? Yeah.
If we have
So,
other slides, we need to stop 5 minutes, yes, because
I think we take a rest, but I think it's
okay.
before we go to another sections now, service costing. Actually, it's not many as well. But I also want to look what exercise that I want to give you on your Kalam. Everyone can open Kalam, man. Huh? We do a small quiz on Kalam. So I need everyone to open the Kalam. So I just we having break for 5 minutes. So
Okay.
I think this is time for me to setting the Kalam. We have a I need to install the Kalam questionnaire and set the date, which means I give a certain time for you to complete the exercise. The quiz actually is work as an exercise only, not to worry how much that you get. We just uh, we just test your understanding. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
We take a rest. 5 minutes. So we shall resume. I think it's about I think 8:50. Okay, we start at 9, eh? Is that okay? We start at 9. I just want to take a cup of questions. Okay.
9.
9.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, are you ready now? Let's see, just
Okay.
yeah. So your company is you come from Raslano, huh? The Raslano.
Yes.
What meaning by the Raslano? Huh?
Sorry,
I mean your company name, huh? Actually what it means.
this is the place where the company is located.
Oh, the place,
Yeah,
Raslanos.
the name of the place where the company is located.
I see.
معنى راس لانوف يا سيدي.
Ma'am, I think it has no meaning, just a name of the place.
Just the name of the place, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I try to look into your website now. That's characteristics. Okay. Okay, for tonight, I try to cover two chapters. One chapter 6 and chapter 7. I think we should have enough time. Actually, there's not much idea information. Actually, it's almost the same. It's about product costing, but the way the nature is could be different. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Okay, we can start.
Okay, now we start at the service costing. Okay, what is service costing? So if we look into the service costing, actually costing method used to compute the cost of service rendered. So it's the intangibles. And inventory of service cannot be maintained. We don't provide service, then we don't have to provide our, inventory. We don't have inventory, because unless in illegal trafficking, human trafficking, the is a service for human, but the human as a inventory, so it's illegal, so we cannot do that. Actually, by right, it's intangibles. We cannot control humans. If they want to give a service, then they will resign. So we cannot control manpowers. So there is a two categories: external in services, service provided for external customer, and also internal services, service provided within organization. For instance, like internal customer or one department to another, like our training department. So you are service providers to within internals. You are giving our services to your employees, so they become internal services. So your department more toward on services, which is you provide service internally. So this is one of the example. So and then cost unit in service customer. So you might think of I'm provide service. I don't provide product. So how do I know that how to calculate those? So that's why there is a way of two category of unit can be calculated in the service business. So this is something that if you want to calculate your cost within the organizations, or who knows that your cost later on become profit centers, which means anything that you provide service, you charge back to the customer, you charge back to the company, you charge back to the external party. So you are become a profit center, or you just become cost center, which is you only provide training, you only support, but you don't earn any income. And then if you earn income also, the income is just to reduce your cost. It's not a profit either. So you did not have attention to make it profit. Who knows? And then later on, you receive a new CEO, and then the new CEO say, I don't care. Each of you should become a profit center. Then, no, and then you have to do something, right? So at that time, you need to calculate your cost in order to make sure that you are profit center. So this is the way of calculating those costs: simple cost unit and composite cost unit. Okay, then, okay, what is simple cost unit? Simple cost unit are based on the single measurement. For instance, like in the hotel services, the cost per unit is the gas. And then in the restaurants, actually, they're not only can be as a gas, but they can calculate based on meal served. Because if you receive a thin, a very small customer, they only eat small. If you receive a big customer, if you see myself, you think I'm small or I'm big? I'm the big one or small one? Huh?
Yes.
Because if you look myself, you think I'm the small size or big size? Huh? Because you cannot see full. So you think I'm a big or I'm small? So Juma, how kilo are you? Huh?
Yes.
100? Huh?
Huh?
How kilo? Your weight.
Mine. I
Huh?
will.
Yeah, your weight.
No. 75, 76.
75. So you know how I put your weights? Almost 120. So it's a big size. So that's why in the restaurant, I can contribute more profit to the restaurant, because they are look into the cost unit. Either you can order more meal or small meal. But sometimes human, if you see that big, sometimes they eat small because they have a diet. So there is not reflect that they can eat more on. So, but there is restaurant, they look into the cost per unit. And then transportation, when you provide the transportation, normally we look into the kilo, and then this is how you charge the customer based on kilometers. Hospital are the based on patients, and then this is the cost you need. They need to calculate if you don't have patients, which means you're having problems, and instead of the school, they look into student. Like now we have the less students. So since I think you are very lucky because this is the first that we offer for offshore students. We expected more student onwards that you maybe can help us to promote more students from your country. So this is the way how the cost being calculated. Okay, now we look into this composite cost unit. This is a composite cost unit. It's based on more than one unit to arrive at the unit measurements. Because of not only we look into patient, look into kilometer, but the transportation also look into the passenger miles, also look the hospital, also look the patient days, how many days the patient is still in the hospital. So now it just like the same goes to the hotel. So the hotel and hospital almost the same. It's a hospitality. Even the hotel also the same. They expected patient stay more. Same goes to the hospital also. They expected the patient is still more. But in the government, why they don't like patient to stay more? Because they are subsidized. That's why more patient can cost them more, and then they need to help others as well. But in the private hospital, where their objective is to making money, they expected patient to stay more. And then the auditings for the accounting job, finance job, you can count it based on the man hours. Actually, it same goes to your departments. When you do a work with others, then you can use the man hours. So every executive, every manager, every supervisor, they have their own rate to be charged. So you need to calculate you need to calculate the average range of salary. Then you know that this is the rate that you need to charge to the customer. That is your cost. Let's say your cost per hour is $100, which means when you want to charge others, you cannot charge $100 because this is your cost. So you should charge more than $100 of your services, maybe as for profit making. If you don't want to make profit, then you can charge 100. Actually, if you want to just reduce the cost, then you can charge less than 100. It depends on your department objective. It's a management. Everything is management, managerial accounting. You manage your accountings. And then education, they look into not only the student, but the student hour as well will be charged based on credit hours. So this is the other composite unit that we need to consider for calculations. And then the features of the service costing. Our service is provided and consumed immediately. A service provided may not be standardized. There could be various. A service is intangible in nature, so which means you cannot touch, but that is the natures of the service. A service cannot be stored and used later. They cannot be. The service can be. That's why human trafficking is not a part of the service. It's illegal. You cannot do that. You cannot store and use later. So this is the category, the features of the service costing legally. Okay, now we look into the differences between costing of services and costing for manufacturing goods. So in service costing, the proportion of direct material to total cost will be lesser as compared to product, compared to product costing. I think slide is not here. Okay, but it's okay. You can see the video later on. And in service costing, output is intangibles. And the product is costing, output is tangible. That is the comparison. In the service costing proportion, indirect cost constitute a higher proportion of total cost as compared to the product costing. In service costing, product and consumption of service is simultaneously. In product costing, production proceed consumptions. And then that's all. Any question? We end up our topic for tonight. So later on we continue for chapter 7.
Mhm.
So any question you want to ask?
No.
Any question about this one?
No questions.
Okay, no question. I think there's a lot of things that we learn from the
Surface costing and
huh?
surface costing.
Yeah, you have a questions?
No.
Oh no. Or if you want to ask also, you can write in the chat box, because sometimes I cannot use clear. I cannot hear you clearly. Yeah. I'm not sure either my voice is clear or not,
Yeah,
but
your voice is
your
very clear.
voice very clear, sir.
Very
I
clear.
try to talk, using a simple language, using slow. I try to speak very slowly. Try to structure in the very structured form so that you can understand. So
Yes.
anyway, okay. Since 3 of you is here, why not we do exercise? Because I think you just learn, but sometimes either you understand or not understand. Okay, our topic now actually, our course actually is managerial accounting. In order for you to manage the accounting, you need to understand a very key word or very key understanding or very key or basic about the accounting. Okay, I just want to test you an exercise or MCQ, at least based on your understanding. You can try to answer this question within 30 minutes, 20 MCQ question only. And then for your test also, I will try to give your a test, maybe 50% is the MCQ, 50% is a short essay for the test. So the MCQ actually is everyone not get the same questions because I'm using this question bank, which is different people get different question. I'm not sure you get which one. So I just want to see your understanding. And then at the end of the exercise, you can see your marks. Either you get full marks or half mark or no mark. Is it okay? You can open Kalam now. I already stated there. Just let you either you can see or not. Can you go to the Kalam?
Okay, just a moment.
Where I can find where?
You found the module 1. You go to the module 1. So the question actually is in the module 1. The right there is a quiz. Module 1, exercise 1. Answer all 20 questions within 30 minutes. Once you start answer questions, so after 30 minutes, they will automatically stop. They give you a timing. So either you finish or not finish, they will start after 30 minutes.
Yes.
So it's a very easy question, but don't worry either you right or wrong. Try to answer based on understanding about accountings. And then we try to go through maybe later on, or maybe it's up to you. You want me to explain each of that also can. If you say no need to explain, we just proceed with the next chapters, then we can go for that. But this one, we start. You want to start now, or all of you is managed to get that?
If we start now, we have lecture after this or no?
Sorry?
سالم صوتك أوضح يا سالم.
You can start anytime. But when you start, you have 30 minutes.
And then start now. After 30 minutes, come back to the lecture again or what?
Yeah, come back to the lecture again.
No. Yeah, excuse me, doctor. Because we study morning English, and we finish after one afternoon. We continue now. This is the better now because we have tomorrow in English class in morning.
Yeah.
8, and we come early.
Okay, if that is the case, you can answer later. Is it okay?
Yes, answer later. Can you continue?
Okay, which means we can after we finish chapter 7, then we can start answer questions. Is it okay?
Then we discuss. Then we discuss them tomorrow. Tomorrow in the lecture tomorrow or what?
Okay, that is good. Like at least you, at least for tomorrow we have something to start first, huh? Okay.
No problem.
So if that is the case, you can do it later. We continue with chapter 7. Is it okay?
Yes. Okay.
So once finish chapter 7, then either we finish at 12 or we finish at 11, then we can continue with the quiz. Is it okay?
Yes.
We try to finish early.
So today I can't. If we finish in 11 or 11:30, I can't answer because very tired today. You hear me? It's clear or no?
Yeah, Doctor Ridwan.
Yes.
We will answer this quiz, and tomorrow when we meet again, we will discuss it after lecture, before lecture, no problem. But today, It is now about nearly 10:30. I mean 9:30 now. Maybe we will have another 1 hour for the chapter 7. I think it will be nearly 11 o'clock when we finish the chapter 7.
Our
So
class
we'll
end
come back.
on 12 p.m. today, is it?
No, it is 2:11, I think.
Or 11:30?
2:11 maybe, not 2:11:30. I don't know.
You mean it finished at 11?
I will check the timetable. I'm not sure.
Because I see on the timetable until 12 o'clock.
No. I until 11, doctor. But
11.
This timetable is not important actually about this.
Okay, it's okay.
Early.
Okay, like this. We try to finish 7. We try to finish chapter 7. Actually, it's not many. We can finish in 1.5 hours. Later on, after class, you can do the quiz. It's just a 2020, or maybe you can do tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. It's up to you. Before we having a class at 7. Is it okay?
Okay.
It's up to you. I give you free time to complete that one, but you have to complete before we have a class tomorrow at 7.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay, huh? So it's up to you to finish tonight or to finish tomorrow morning or afternoon. Huh? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, this is okay.
We can take a break for dinner.
We're just having a break. You want another break?
Doctor,
we're just having a break. You want another break or what?
We want to take a dinner. This is, I think, this is not if in a schedule from 7 to 30, from 7 to 30 to 11. I think this is not actual because our doctor before I told you about it before. It's okay. We can finish early. We can take time for now. 7:30 to 11. We want 2 times to rest. If you continue 3 hours without rest, we can't understand anything.
Yes. That's why I need to know at your capacity, at your, either you say you want to rest, let me know. I give you rest, because then at least you get the informations, because once we finish early, we can do a revisions. We just recall back what we missed in place, what you didn't understand, and then we focus more on what examination question will be asked. So that is what we can do if we finish early, because we need to cover all the syllabus. That's why actually we are very fast now, because if I see my schedule, this week we only supposed to complete levels chapter 5, but I'm studying very fast because I want to redo the revision part. And because sometimes you just go first, you still did not understand. Later on, when we study again, then we study only a certain topic that is very important. Then you can get more knowledge. Because like I said, not other subject. The other subject is just for information. Can you aware that? It's just for information. They don't give you skills. This subject is giving you skills. Skills of analyzing, skills of, because I also teaching risk management. I give skill to students, how to do the management, how to do the analysis assessment, risk assessment, how to do that. So I'm giving skills. I'm from the industry, so I know that what skill that you need to have. If more financial skill, you have a more value in your organization. You can ask whatever question that come across your department. So that is my concern of teaching. It's just not about complete your study. That's why I said it's just not about just to complete exam pass. I want to give your knowledge that you can apply in your real job. That's why I try to relate with your department and with your company. Okay, so but we are quite fast because you don't stop me. Actually, you can stop me. You said, why not we get rest today? We complete at 10 o'clock, then we continue tomorrow. I can entertain that.
Dr. Radwan.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. It is from 7:30 to 11 o'clock. The hour in the timetable. Today lecture from 7:30 to 11 o'clock.
or until 11 only.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
So
so
try to
now
finish chapter 7 before 11 o'clock. And
before 11.
for the quiz, we will
Okay,
answer
for
it
the quiz,
tomorrow.
we'll do after this and up to you before 7 o'clock tomorrow, before 7:30 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Is okay? But
Okay.
this subject is very not many, yeah. Process costing, I think better we finish. Okay, shall we start? Or you want to get rest 5 minutes and start later because we
okay,
are covering new topic.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
Let's continue, huh? Okay. Seven process costing. Okay, this X. I still having something like yesterday, yeah, which is I cannot link my files. So maybe my computer also tired, they cannot continue function. I cannot directly link to they cannot. I have to do another methods. Another method is I have to open file first and share different way. Okay, I open first. Last time I can recall. Last time
we talk about we tired because all week we have a study. We have to study 5-day English class every day, and today in morning and in evening, Saturday and Monday and Sunday in morning and in evening. We have two classes in evening in Thursday and Wednesday. I know I come here to study, but this is very difficult about.
Because you know why? Normally people do MBA 2 years. My MBA also 2 years.
I know that. Yes, I know.
That's why I understood.
But we're talking about this because we have in all the weeks, all day in weeks, don't have any holiday.
Yeah. Understood. There is sacrifice. I think is hopefully it's works for you. Okay, this one cannot. So waste file. Okay, this one. Okay, this one I when I open as a view, I cannot see your I cannot see the screen. Even if you write chatting, I cannot see. Before this I can see, but now I cannot see lah. Because I'm using a different method. When I do a review, I cannot see any buttons that I can somehow. Okay, so this is the system design process costing. Yeah, I think this is like your industry. Yeah, processing, continue processing. You cannot stop your plan, is it? Your business is continuing process or not? It's a process costing. Like when your plan, you cannot stop. You can continually process. That's why when you produce some things, you did not base on just in time. When you produce, you base on planning, based on average order from that you received previous year or last year. Then you can keep producing the same patterns. So you cannot stop your plan. Is it correct? You cannot stop your plans?
Yes.
Is it? You are petrochemical company, yeah? So you cannot stop your plan. It's continuous process unless you do an overhaul for maintenance once a year or maybe twice a year. So which means if you want to do you do a maintenance, you need to close everything has to be closed. So you dance once every 6 months or maybe once a year to close your plants for do a maintenance and cleaning part.
Yes.
This is the
This is
nature. This is the
stop,
nature of your business.
it doesn't stop unless there is a turnaround or something like this.
Yeah.
Major overhaul.
For major maintenance that you need to stop. So
Yeah.
this is the process costing, how it to be a process. This is more on your business natures. Okay, so this is your presentation view. Okay, so the learning outcome of this topic actually to explain the purpose of the characteristic of process costing system and to identify the causes and accounting treatment for normal losses, and abnormal gain. Yeah, describe how cost flows throughout sequential processes in manufacturing environments and calculate the cost per unit output accounting for normal losses and their scrap value. So this study, this slide, we show you how to calculate the losses of the normal losses, abnormal losses, and normal gain. If I want to test you, then I have to do another revision. If I'm not covered with the final exam, just for your knowledge only. Just at least, okay, this is how it's being calculated. But if include in the final exam or in the test, I will teach you again how to calculate because I'm not designed you to become accountants. Maybe if you're interested to become an accountant, then let me know. This is something that you need to be expert because of normally if you're taking the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, if you CEO, if you have a knowledge in the accounting, you can take the challenge exam. You need to do the case study and then you can get the certified accountants. You can become a certified accountant if you have the accounting knowledge. So the learning outcome of the study, so we look into this and then this is the definition of process of costing. One of the common method of determining unit produce cost other than job order costing. So the objectives of the process costing is to calculate the unit cost of the product produced during a certain period. It is useful and more suitable for for the industry engaged in the continuous or repetitive processes to manufacturers their finest product. And then example industry like chemical processing, oil refining, paint, varnish manufacturer, cost processing, and paper making. So this is a few example of the process costing. Once you plan your produce, then you cannot stop because everything need to be continuing. Either customer order or don't customer order, you don't care. You have to produce because in starting the business also, if you know like activity-based costing, even you want to start for your business, for machines to be worked, there is a cost of starting the machines for machine starters. So this is very important because wait, because someone is calling. I need to inform that I have a class so they don't disturb. Okay, so the process costing actually is the main differences between process costing, job costing, and calculation of the unit cost. It could be a different way. So the job costing actually is used different quantity of resources because of the different requirement from the customer. So each job will have a different cost. Whereby the process costing, the identical or similar unit are mass productions. They produce mass productions. That's why you say have you followed the just in time? You cannot. You're not like producing a car, producing the equipment so far can. And then when demand is there, and then you can order. You know the demand is there, but you know that how much people is order, and then you're producing based on planning that you're supposed to produce. So the planning part is very important, because once you decided that you need to produce at a certain amount, so this is the production will be customized according to the product that you want to produce, the chemical that you want to do, you want to produce. So this is very important in the planning parts on the process, because you want to start using, then you will continuous. If the chemical is taking longer time or in the store, they can keep longer and will not affect the quality of the product, then is reasonable to be producing and keep stock. But you notice that the logistic cost is quite higher, but instead of the pricing will be, that's why you need to plan how much the stock that you need to keep in your plants. So this is a very important also. And then there, because the chemical part can be ordered by, that is how importance of, our geopolitical market also bring is very important impact to your country as well. So it's depending on either people are from Europe, you can access market from Europe, or you cannot access, because sometimes, because in the if you look into the location wise, or actually it could be very strategic that your country is in between, the Asians and the Europe, rather than in Southeast Asia like Malaysia, we have very far away from London, from Europe. So in terms of the logistic, you are still the best place to produce those things. Yeah. But the thing is that that is how each country will take play on the geopolitical situations. Either you can market your product outside or not. So the product actually is produced in the same manner, consumed in the same amount of cost. So in order for you to calculate the process costing, you based on the average cost per unit. Normally, the total cost of the process divided by the output of the processes. How much the output that you want to produce, then you get the average cost per unit. So this is how they've been calculated. And then in terms of the characteristic of the process costing, so the process costing is used in the situations, in the situation where the identical, product or service are produced. Let's map the characteristic, a process costing directly to the your company, Raslanus environments. Raslanus. Is it correct? I'm pronounced Raslanus, is it?
No,
Raslanus.
رأس لانوف اف لانوف
Ra Lanus. Something like that, huh?
رأس no no رأس
Ras
two words رأس لانوف
Raslanun.
نوف اف the end f
The NF. If in Arabic, how you spell? Ro. Ro Alif.
رأس لانوف
Ra'as Lanu.
رأس اس رأس
Ra'as.
لانوف
Ra'as Lanu.
no
Okay.
رأس
Ras Lanu. It's okay, yeah?
yes yes
Okay.
رأس.
So actually it's a homogeneous output where the actually is equal to the standard product. You come up with the standard product. So in reality, Raslana doesn't produce common made items. Your company doesn't make a common item. You produce a vast quantities of the homogeneous products, like naphtha, polypene, polyethylene, or sulfur, maybe a liters of specific grade of fuel from the distillation or unit is identical to the next. So uh, the inherent standardization is the primary driver for using process costing. And then costs are assigned to process and average over unit of work performed during the given time period. So it means that your plant cost center actually is your facility is series of interconnected sequential plan. We can say that sequential plans. Process costing actually you're required to refine this as separate cost center, which means that for your company, like for Raslanus, this would include, the crude distillation unit, the initial separation process, like the fluid catalytic cracking units, which is the breakdown you punya heavy gas oil macam naphtha hydrother remove dia punya impurity so like the steam crackle dia produce based on petrochemicals like ethylene and propylene. Also, polymerization unit, and they turn to monomer into plastic like for polyethylene. So this is kind of your, process, how it can be done. So you don't just track the totals of the conflict. You accumulated actually the cost, the fixed stock, the catalytic velocity, and the levels, the maintenance. So each of these unit individually. So this involves you to ask a critical question like, is our let's say what is your product unit consuming for more energy per barrel than the industry benchmark. So you need to know either your benchmarking in your production, or maybe what is the true cost contribution to these maybe hydrotrators to your final gasoline price. So this is the cost that you need to be considered in your industry. But somehow, because I also don't have, industrial experience working the petrochemical company, so I'm not really aware of the certain product they produce. Because I have experience on service, my experience more on vessel. Vessel is the storage to put all the chemicals, not produce chemicals. So I'm more on fabrication, fabrication. So I know how to what the items is required to do the fabrication. And my experience with this energy petrochemical, my experience on oil and gas also in more on services, services, vessel, provide vessel, manpower, logistics, or how to clear off this logistic. So I'm more on that kind of industry. So maybe because I did read your punya product, I also not familiar with lah. So that's why sometimes it's very also difficult for me to explain to you lah. But in terms of these normal losses, if you look into this one, normal losses, abnormal losses, or abnormal gain may arise in the process. So in the process, or in petrochemical, because normal loss, normal gain actually is a critical on your operational for your KPI, because in reality, in petrochemicals, or even I have worked in the fabrication company, but the name of the fabrication is East Coast Oil and Gas and Petrochemicals. But actually, it's just for service the petrochemical, not produce the petrochemical, because we come up with the tank for store all this chemical, okay, and paint of the tank and something else. So in the petrochemical, actually losses are not just inevitable. There are key performance indicators actually. Like for instance, like normal losses, flaring, evaporation, or expected year losses, financial impact that is absorbed into the cost of the good output. For example, like maybe we can say that 1% or 2% flaring loss in the normal, the cost that that loss of gas is borne by the remaining 98% of the product's increase in the per unit of cost. So in terms of the abnormal loss, this is the red flags. Bila you have the abnormal loss, normally there is a red flag for the operational inefficiency. We sudden plant leak, like exchanger leak, unplanned you punya catalyst, poisoning leaking, or yield significant below forecast. That is this cost of abnormal losses actually is written off directly to the profit and loss as the provided as a period loss. So they highlighted the series of operational issues that management must address. So be careful on your normal loss and abnormal gains. In the other industry, the normal loss and nominal loss is just a method of it's just a method of that this is what you not expected. But in terms of your industry, it become very issues because um, your risk is very high in terms of leaking and so forth. You will danger other people. So you my abnormal loss for you is very crucial. Okay, so in the productions of the stock, production is not in the response to the customer order, but in anticipation of demand and accounting to the company planning. Yeah, so which means in the production for stock, you align with the maybe we can say the national strategy, which is your company does not operate like a job shop waiting for specific order. You are run continuously to meet the maybe you to meet the Libya domestic energy petrochemical needs. Maybe to fulfill the long-term export contract ataupun you maintain the strategic inventory level, production in anticipation demand, making process costing which average cost over the period of time, the only logical method for inventory valuation and profitability analysis. So this method to the actually is for your company. Process costing is not just for the accounting department. It's just it's a provide the critical data actually for product profitability analysis, for benchmarking performance management, maybe for investment justification, transfer pricing, and strategic making strategic decision making. So each product is considered as separate cost center. Products are produced in the same manner and consume the same amount of total. Production follow a series of sequential process. The output each product become input for the net process until the final product is complete. So we can say that in your process costing for engineer, for manager, or strategy at your company, actually process costing is the essential bridge between physical operation and financial performance. It's transform the flow of the the flows into the flow of the meaningful data. So they enabling you control your cost, improve efficiency, and ultimately enhance the value or competitiveness of your country vital petrochemical industry. Yeah. Okay, so differences between job costing and process costing. What time now? We still got time. So that is the differences between job costing and process costing. Now we compare with this. Previously we compared job costing, batch costing. Now we look into from the previous chapters. Job costing. Now we can see the difference between process costing. So if you look into job order costing, so use when the work ID undertaken according to the specific orders from customer to meet their own special requirement. But in the process costing, you use when a company produce in a mass production similar unit through a continuous flow processes. So many different jobs are worked on the during each period. A single product is produced on a continuous basis. So job order costing, actually each job can be identified from the beginning in the end of the manufacturing process, whereby process costing a particular unit cannot be identified at any point in the manufacturing process. So in the job costing, costs are accumulated by the individual job, costs are accumulated by process or the department. In the job order costing, each individual job has to be costed separately using the job cost sheet, whereby the process costing cost per unit is determined by averaging the process cost. Whereby in the job order costing, each job has a different product requirement, where process costing, all unit of product are identical. So each job in job order costing, each job generally use in different amount of resources. Each unit receive in the same or similar amount of resources for process costing, whereby production based on the customer order and specification for the job order costing, whereby in the process costing, production is done based on the anticipation of demand and according to the company planning. And last but not least, for the job order costing, there is a may or may not be any incomplete job at the end of an accounting period. But the process costing, there is usually work in progress at the end of each accounting period. I have experience preparing financial statements when I worked in the fabrication company. They have a lot of plants. So I need to, I think the most difficult that I prepare the financial statement is each of the plant because they have a work in progress. So it's very difficult to close, very difficult to, because the accounting need to be tally, yeah, which means the balance sheet need to be balanced and all those work. And it's very difficult to get balance. Because the work in progress is based on estimation. So if you make the wrong estimation, you cannot close properly. So now we look into the accounting treatments for the process costing. Okay, this is I think for you, it quite for me is very difficult for you to understand. That's why for this one, for me as knowledge only, I will not test you for final exam. If I test, then I will let you know. And because this is just for your knowledge, how you be calculated, how the accounting treatment for process costing for normal losses, and abnormal gain. So how you want to identify. And then for your industry, is a big difficult to calculate those. Uh, if I give another simulation, is much more easier. You can see, yeah. But in process costing, in the petrochemical company, I need to be expert first in your product. Then I can explain better. This one I just see a site and the product that I might familiar, but not very not experienced as good as your knowledge. And because you know your product, you work with the company, then I think you much know better of your what is the product that you are used within your organization, produced within your organization. Okay, the normal losses in the process costing. If you look into in any production, the process output may be less than the process input. This is because due to the evaporation of the liquid, defect from productions, scrap due to high quality needed, chemical change, breakage, spoilage, removing for testing and inspections. So the cost per unit for output is total cost production minus with the scrap value of normal loss and normal output. So this is nature of your industry. Yeah. Remember, your production actually like not only a petrochemical, the same industry with like uh, uh, what uh, uh, instead of chemical, you have like nuclear. The process of nuclear something is very high cost. They can produce a very clean energy, like nuclear again, very clean energy, the most clean energy, the most powerful, but the production is very costly. If the leaking happen, then disaster. If I look into this, no, if I always seen um, like story from the Netflix with regard to the real situation whereby about the nuclear energy and so forth. And recently, actually, I just not yet completed. I just not yet watched, not complete. After this, I continue. I see the BlackBerry because I'm the user of the BlackBerry in 2009, 2010. And suddenly BlackBerry is nowhere. I don't know where it goes. And then when I see the documentary, the story, the movie about the BlackBerry, then I know, this is happened. This is what happened in the BlackBerry. Why people are so proud of having the BlackBerry in the first place? Because if you see the documentary movie, I think they make a movie like a documentary from Netflix. I think it just launched today, maybe yesterday. But this is how the BlackBerry is, being introduced. So no wonders why people at the first place proud to have that kind of private message with the team, with the community, yeah, because the BlackBerry can communicate with each other with free, yeah, very prestige. Why they make that? Why the marketing do that? Which is they ask the marketing people to go to around shows the using the BlackBerry. They go to the high place and then just to look into how prestige of this BlackBerry. So when I see the movie, then I know. And then I think and then end up they fail in the market because of the iPhone. Okay. This is this is something that in the service industry as well. So we have a certain cost that may lost in order to produce that chemical, and producing the chemical, like it could be, it could be the profit margin is very high. This is industry where process actually is the profit margin very high because the demand of the product is there. The demand is there, and that's why the company is willing to invest with all this technology in order to produce that product. Okay, so then there is normal loss. You already expected that you lost certain costs on the operations. That is normal. So why we having loss of this thing? This is normal. You're involved with this industry. This is the cost very high. And then the salary also you need to pay high because the employee having put risk on that environment. Okay, so and the normal losses. So process without loss or gain. Yes.
Doctor, 2 minutes. I come. 2 minutes.
Sorry.
Okay. I'll go 2 minutes. I will be back again. 2 minutes. I am going 2 minutes. I'm coming in.
You're going and then you come
Yes, yes,
again, is it?
yes. You continue. I will become. Okay. 1 minute.
Okay,
1 minute.
okay. Okay, should be fine. Or maybe we can rest for 5 minutes. But we can stop for 5 minutes. How about the
Okay,
rest? Because
it's up to you, doctor. It's up to you.
okay, what's time now? Okay, we start. We take a rest about 5 minutes, huh?
Okay, 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, shall we resume back? Okay, where do we start? Okay, this one is it? Loss, normal loss, huh? I continue, is it? Okay.
Yes, it's okay. Yes.
Okay. So this is the normal loss, huh? So which is the normal loss process without loss or gain. Even it's a loss, but we consider like normal. Huh? Process without loss or gain, normal loss with the no scrap value, normal loss with the scrap value. So we understand in certain industry, in the process costing, when we process something, there is a scrap, that we need to dispose. But sometimes the scrap have a value and sometimes they don't have value. So there is a way of calculating those, because sometimes if the value is there, which means we can sell the scrap. Actually, the scrap actually they come out after we produce a certain stage of production. They can come out with the something that can be sellable. Like in the production of chicken, and sometimes the shit of the chicken can be sold. So this is the scrap, something that we don't want. But other industry for fertilizer, they need that much, or maybe in the industry of petrochemical, that certain chemical which is we don't want, but there is a value in the maybe in the fertilizer industry, the one that chemicals, so you can sell as a scrap value. So they have a value, and we need so I need to we can know how the they can be calculated in the financial statement. So what is the abnormal losses in the process costing? Okay, so this is very importance in the process costing, like chemicals, petrochemical company, because you don't want this. It's too unexpected, something that maybe because of the leaking and so forth. So if you look into this, if losses are greater than the normal loss, because you already expected in the industry, because in producing this, you might lose about maybe 100,000, but suddenly you losses about 200,000. So it's greater than your normal loss, not expected to occur. So this is unexpected losses and avoided of controllable, maybe due to the wastage, or maybe because of the machine breakdowns, spillage, poor quality material, carelessness, error, inefficiency of operation, and accident. So this is be very careful, because if the abnormal loss happen in the process, like in the petrochemical industry, something goes wrong. And it will danger to everybody also, because of their effect, because of the chemical itself. So abnormal loss actually the equal to the actual output actually is less than expected output. And then there is a where there is a situation where you see the abnormal loss that you can point to remember. Abnormal loss actually is the actual loss less normal loss. So abnormal loss with no scrap value and abnormal loss with a scrap value. There is also whereby the abnormal loss can bring the scrap value. That you need to calculate also. The same goes to the normal loss with the scrap value. Abnormal loss also sometimes because they just increase lower than normal loss. So the nature is still same. If they have a scrap, then they have a scrap. Okay, so this one, the abnormal gain in the process costing. So this is the opposite way, whereby you get the abnormal gain instead of in the process costing. So if the losses are lower than the normal loss, the differences is known as abnormal gain. So your profit. So due to the greater efficiency from the newly purchased machinery, because suddenly what you expected, what you planning, normally there is a certain loss that you have to bear in mind. But later on, suddenly you expected your normal loss is 100, but suddenly it became lower. This is maybe because of the efficiency of the new purchase machinery that you are recently bought. It could be that reason. So abnormal gain is accounted separately in the production cost of statement and recorded as revenue in the costing income statement. So they become other income. So they treated as the period cost and the value on the same time basis on the good production. So the abnormal gain equal to actual output more than expected output. Okay, so the abnormal gain with no scrap value, abnormal gain with the scrap value. So the scrap value is normal, is your organization, we produce the scrap value with the scrap that have value. That is your nature of business. If you don't have value, then you have nothing to do with that, because you need to dispose all those scrap. Okay, any question? Very simple. So if I think if you need to learn about how those be calculated, uh, uh, I can teach you. If you don't want also, should be fine. This is additional only. So actually, is any question that you want to ask?
Okay.
Oh, so
Mm.
far so good.
So far, so good. Huh? You don't want to you want to know how the scrap value being calculated, or is it okay? This information is just enough. I want to get rest. My brain need to be rest. Or you want to can teach you how the traded is done. What do you mean? What do you interested? You interested to know how it being calculated? Hmm? But if you're accountant, then you need to learn. But if you is not accountants, that is just knowledge for you only. For
We aren't. We
how
aren't.
to, huh?
We aren't account.
Mm.
We can't change my job to accountant because different about accounting.
Okay, so just basic knowledge, just enough, is it?
Yes, we want
Yeah.
basic
Okay.
knowledge. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so actually, we still got time. We have covered two chapters. I make chapters actually just for you to know a certain level of how it's being calculated, but I did not show you how if undergraduate, then I ask them to calculate because you need to understand in the organizations there is uh, people who have to learn operate. They have a three-layer of operational level in the organization. One we consider like operation level, which means operation level those who just finished graduated. They need the skill in order for them to work. So if they are accountant, they need to have the accounting skills. So they are more on operation. And then there is another layer we call management. So management, you need to manage the people within the organization. So you need, if you're responsible to prepare the financial statement, you need to find people can do job for you. So this management. And then the last is the strategic level. The strategic level who those do decision is the decision maker, top management, CEO, CFO. So they want all these jobs, so they ask the manager to do. The manager find the operation people to help them to come up with all this information. So this is knowledge that I think in the management level, management and strategic level need to have for MBA. So you need to know if you instruct people to do, but you need to know where it's come from. Even you do not know what's the formula, it doesn't matter, but you want that figures and you know where is that figures come from. So that is your knowledge in terms of as the manager. So you need to have that kind of knowledge, how to manage people. So that's why there is a certain amount that is optional for you to learn, but for the accounting knowledge, I think it's a good for you to know that this is how it's been calculated. So at least you have that kind of technical knowledge within your management skills. So that's why you need to know you need to know how to calculate the cost per unit in terms of either is based on the absorptions of activity-based absorptions, because sometimes we use the activity-based costing. Most of the time, the organization actually use the activity-based costing. But if we ask them, they say they just calculate. Actually, the method they apply actually use the activity-based costing, but they never know that they are using the same methodology. Yeah? Is the normal because you learn by experience. That is what we call learn by the experience. This is the process where the company is used you know, we got knowledge based on the experience that we call the learning based experience. So, but if you studied on academic, they can make you faster. You can get that knowledge within 1 hours, 1 years, one sessions. But if you go to experience, you can take longer. Something that I teach you for today, it will take you 5 years to understand. That is the learning by experience. They're taking time. Both actually is good, by experience or by study, by academic study, but they're taking longer time. That is the difference is the period. You want to shorten your longer period, then it's okay. And then you need to focus on why you do the MBA is because of you need to master or certain topic that actually is you need to know. If you become a manager, if you become the top management or you become strategic level positions, then you know actually you need to understand about finance, you need to understand about marketing, you need to understand about human resource, how to manage people, and then you need to you know understand or administratively business school business skill. So you need to have. Okay, so I think we can finish early if you okay. At least you can do the exercise that I give it to you. You can complete that one. You can go to the Kalam. You complete that, and then we can discuss tomorrow. Is it okay? Huh?
That's okay. Okay.
Okay. So, have you taken the ayats already? Have you complete your ayats already? Yeah. International English test. Have you taken already?
No, not yet.
Not yet, huh? So at least you have to get the bank six,
Yes.
in average. Try
We have to get
to
band 6 in average, yes.
yeah, in average, which means in certain 5.6 is okay, but at least two object you need to get six, and then you can get bank six.
Yeah.
Maybe writing you get 5.5, but you need to score certain like interview. You try to get 6.5 something. The average they become bank six. They need average. Even certain subject because they have a four kan. So let's say into five, into 4.5, you need to cover with other easy part lah, just to make sure you to get six. I think it's unique scamming reading, which is you need to read very fast to understand, and then you need to answer questions. Listening is a very straightforward, but it's quite confusing also if you did not focus clearly. Normally, if you want to write answer, better you use capital letter because if you small and big letter, if you make wrong writing, the mark is gone because the computer is writing. So it's better for you to use the all capital letter. For listening, for reading and listening.
But I think here in Malaysia, only the test computer only, not paper.
Yeah, computer. Yes, computer is much more easier.
No,
Use
I think no.
computers. Huh?
Mayot, other test, Mayot, I think Mayot, mute or Mayot.
So all in Malaysia, all computers, huh?
Yes, that I asked you about the other exam, Mayot.
Oh, they MUET, yeah?
Moit, yes.
MUET, M-U-E-T.
This is
MUET is MUET, I think is much more easier lah. they can use MUET as well.
IELTS. Easier than IELTS.
I think
Easier than IELTS.
If they give option either MUET or IELTS, for just pass your MBA, I think MUET is much more easy.
Yes, we have three options, three options. MUET,
if you
and
ask
IELTS,
me,
and TOEFL. We have three.
Yeah, TOEFL in US, IELTS in UK, and MUET in Malaysia. The most easier one is the MUET. It's very easy. Easier, the most is MUET because of
the score is 4, MUET.
At least 4. And
4.
Last time 3, but now they're grading a different way. I think maybe they require 4, but I think MUET is much more easier. But better take both. If you can take, better take all. If you have money, then take all lah. Try see how. But at least muat is you must. If the muat is considered okay, is then take muat. If they say the requirement is IELTS, then you don't have a choice. Please check with the.
We have three
Oh, they
choice.
said muat also acceptable. They said muat
Yes,
okay.
we have three choice.
Oh, then go for muat lah. Go for muat. Muat is very easy. Muat, they don't have like I think it's quite easy, and is they're using they don't have a computer kan. They have writer and so forth. So at least for those who don't have a computer, then it's better for you lah. But I prefer test by computer. I cannot, not now, even I'm 50, I'm very difficult of writing hand. My hand now become very tired. If I write, because I get used with the computer. So any exam, even I'm taking the CIMA exam, I'm taking the computers. I need to type computer very fast. I cannot use hand because long time not use. And then very tired to write essay. Yeah? I cannot use because not been practiced so many years. I'm used to computers. If you ask me to write in it is sometimes is very tired. My hand cannot write more words. I prefer computers. But computer, you need to spell, clearly. But in writing, sometimes you cannot spell rightly. Handwriting you sometimes you just write. We sometimes people thought that you write in good spelling lah. Sometimes you also cannot. I think it's the. Okay, for final exam, how you want to, normally for final exam, we ask you to write a written in hand, and then you need to scan, you need to take picture and send to install into the system. Later on, we try to do the test. We use for essay, I want you to write in hand, and then you take pictures, and then you can send to exam on time lah, because we have some limitation. If you have a problem, then you let me know lah because I have to see your online during your exam. So you just write first, then you take photo. Normally you take photo using what? Telephones. You take pictures for exam script using handphone, is it?
Yes,
Or using
yes.
scanner? If
Yes,
you're
handphone,
using handphone,
yes, we have.
you go. I think the
both
better software you use the CamShot, Cam Scanner.
Yes, cam scan. Yes, yes.
Cam Scanner.
Yes, cam scanner. Yes, because
If you want to
edit the picture.
yes, they can print by batches.
Yes.
If you don't know, nanti during the class, during face-to-face, I can show you how make it easy. Normally, when I want to scan, I disconnected the Wi-Fi because I don't want the, the advertisement. They can come up with all of this advertisement again. So I disconnected Wi-Fi, and then I take photos. I do photo after I compile to the file, and then I send. Then I activate the Wi-Fi. So this is normally I did that, and then I send to the WhatsApp. I upload to the WhatsApp and send to the system. So if you want to learn about how the faster way during face-to-face, I can show it to you. But if you're already expert, then it should be fine. If you want to know, this is normally I did on the scanning of the document. Because normally the transcript we scan also we store for audit trail, which means that when auditor come, they want to see our marking scheme, how we mark students on certain audit. So that's why we need to keep all this final exam. So, okay, anything you want to ask, something else or regarded with the study with the subject? So I'm willing to help you lah.
Thank you. Anything.
or you just want to get rest for tonight? I think
You
two
know,
subject in that.
I explain you because you today we
Uh-huh.
wake up early 6:30.
Uh-huh.
We wake up early
Okay.
6:30. Go to English
Yes.
class and
Yeah, there is normal time that we need to wake up, about 6.
yeah,
And
yeah, 6 to 6:30 to prayer.
yeah,
After prayer, we can't go to sleep again.
okay. Your class start at what time, 7?
Eight,
Oh,
nine,
8,
nine, nine, nine. But we
9.
start from house 8
Okay, so you're from 9 until 5
until
o'clock,
1.
until 1.
Yes,
From
until
1,
1.
from 2 o'clock, you have another subject.
No, from 2. No, no, no. From 2, no, 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 have other subjects. But
Okay.
we have a family.
Under, yeah, but I
We
understood.
here stay here with my family here.
Yeah. You come with family again, is it?
Yes, yes, always family. Yes,
Okay. And then you also need time for family also, family time.
yes, because the
Understood.
7 day study.
Yeah. But your plan actually is fast track actually.
Yes.
Very fast track.
Mhm.
I'm complete my MBA 2 years.
Yes,
And
but
then
it's yes, but different about daily and different,
yeah.
and
Okay.
online different about physical. The physical.
Yeah. Now this is your second semester, is it? Now
Yes.
you have another 1 semester, and then you need to do project paper, then you
Yeah.
can complete your
Now
studies.
we start now about project 1. Yes, we start now.
Because of actually to get 6 for IELTS is quite difficult. So lah, for those who's not good in English, normally it's very difficult. 6 actually is quite demanding also. Certain university got 155, but if they ask MWEC, then I think should be fine. MWEC is much more easier.
Then
They
we will
can
go to point.
MWEC is much more easier.
Yes.
They also can help you also. Because because normally more been taken by student who is a young students,
Yeah.
70 years old taking more, and so it's quite easy. But IELTS, because I'm taking IELTS also, I think it's quite challenging. I know how it's been tested. So it's very tough, but you will gain a lot of things.
Yes.
If you got 6, your English should be good. At least if
Yes.
you got
Now
6, the English is super good.
yes, yes. Now maybe study 5 months now. Now we be start
Ah,
but other we have 5 months.
yeah.
Mhm.
But hopefully, I think it's okay. That is the challenge for you, lah, because if you want to learn English, you need to go to the place whereby the environment is English,
Mhm.
and you can be expert. Like myself, if I want to speak Arab, I need to go to the Arab for 2 years, then hopefully I can speak. If not, it's very difficult. So because the language is about the environment, somehow you need to speak. They force you to speak. Huh? I also face the same things when I'm study, whereby the English is become medium. Then I go to because I study a UK medium because we need to go to London so forth. Then we have no choice. We have to even we are not good in English, we have to. Then the communication is become faster. That you have to go to the environment. So you need to speak with these people, uh, try to speak in English because the communication need to be communicate every day. Try to communicate English during you in Malaysia because it's very difficult when you want to apply. When you go back home, the environment is different already. So this is the place whereby you can learn and you can speak. Even is it very difficult? Later on, it make me more easier. If you don't believe me, you can compare with your first 3 months here compared to the after 3 months. You can see the difference already. Okay. I also go to the same thing. When the first semester is very tough, second semester is much more easier. Because you already get used of this language, as a barriers, to understand, get knowledge. So I think hopefully after you finish your study, you will become expert already lah. Huh?
Inshallah.
So okay, take time. Because the environment is very important. Yeah? Okay, so good night to all of you. See you tomorrow. If you want to ask anything, then you can WhatsApp me or anything. I available 24/7. Lecturer never sleep. Very
Thank you.
because I come from industry, I never thought that lecturer work like this. I might think go back to industry. No, let's just check. But actually, it's quite challenging to become academicians. Okay, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good night, Doctor. Good night.
Good night. I want to continue see the BlackBerry from Netflix. Okay, bye.
Okay.